all, it's Barb coming to you from my craft studio. I thought I would share the pillows that I made yesterday. I've tried this video once and I had to delete it and start over, so we're just gonna try to get this set up a little bit so I should have did that first. Sorry about that. I made several pillows yesterday. I did the St. Patrick's Day one. This was made from a towel that I bought at Dollar Tree. I do the no-sew method. I just hot glue them, and I was told I should buy liquid stitch and do it, but they're just decorative pillows. I mean, we're not going to be using them to lay on or anything like that. They're just to sit on the bench. I should have did the Happy St. Patrick's Day in gold rather than green, but I just had grabbed the green. I hadn't even thought about the background I was putting it on, but I like it well enough, and I think you can read it a little better in person than you can on the camera. And then the rest of the towels that I used came from Target's Bullseye Playground. I think they were all sets of 2, so I'll try to show them in. This one I didn't do any revision on. It came with the Hello Spring and the little monogram type frame on it. So this one I did add the spring is in the air. I got a file from Dreaming Tree. I think this was actually one of their freebie ones. It had spring captions in it, so I decided to add that to this pillow. The rest of them are all Easter themed. There's this one that says hip hop hooray. This one I didn't add anything to. I tried to tie the one that came with it together with it, like this one has this bunny with the polka dot, and the other one was just the polka dot towel. So I added a bunny that was kind of a similar style of the other bunny and added Happy Easter to it. These images I found in Cricut. I think both of them, I think were part of Access. If not, they were from a cartridge that I owned, but I think they might have been part of Access. And I had a 3-day pass, so I used that. I try to save my 3-day passes and use them when I know I'm going to do some crafting. Like yesterday, I cut out stuff for my daughter's bulletin board, so I used one of them. And I also placed a Cricut order, so I wanted the extra 10% for being an Access member, which is why I did it in the first place, because they had some cartridges for $6.99 that I didn't have, so I wanted to order those. And then I did this one, which I didn't add anything to this one either. It came like that. It said Happy Easter with the eggs and the little flowers on it. And it also, this one came with it. I thought about adding something to this one, like, you know, Easter egg hunt or something with it. I just decided to leave it plain with just the eggs. So that's it. I still have my fabric to deal with, but I didn't buy enough. I thought it was wider than it was, so I only bought a yard, and it wasn't wide enough, so I didn't have enough to cover the bench one direction. I wasn't even thinking about the width of it. I was just thinking I had to cover the length, so I don't have enough. But I'll just have to buy a different one. What I might do is try to see if I can get my sewing machine working and hem up the edges and just use it on the little table I have downstairs. But we'll see how that goes. I figured since I had time, I would show you how I store my photos and mementos, because this week is photo week in the Get Organized Challenge. Next Tuesday, the 27th, is mementos, and I store mine together, and I'm pretty much caught up on both, so I don't really have much to do this week. This is a Totally Tiffany memento keeper, and this one is my 2017 one, because that's where I'm working on. It's got this big pocket thing in the front. So usually what I do is, as I'm working, I put the photographs that I either didn't use or that I had duplicates of over here to file when I'm all done with the year. And then I try to do, this one has a couple of the completed pages from my son's wedding, which I've just kind of lost my heart on that one. It's a long story, and I'm not going to get into it. We'll just suffice to say that, so I can just get back past that part. Then what I try to do is like a page for each. You're supposed to actually, in your holding album, which is what this is, lay out your scrapbook page, but I don't do that until I scrapbook. It's just how I work. So I just try to put like 1 month in a page. Like I think this is July, and then I do August on the next page, and like that, so that they're at least separated by time frame, because I scrap chronologically. I did order my photos for July through, I think it was January. I don't think I had any for February. So when those come in, I'll add them into this holder. And then I have a couple boxes like this. I have 3 more of these. I have one set up for 2018 to start with, so that as I get things, I can just file them. I have one set up for my medical one, because I want to do a medical scrapbook at some point, and then I have one on my craft room as it's evolved, because I'm thinking about doing an album on that. So I have one set up for each of those. I'd like to get a couple more of them, because this one will probably become wedding after I finish 2017, and then I'll just set the wedding aside until I feel like dealing with it. This one has my cat pictures and like just different stuff that I want, because I want to do a scrapbook someday of the cat. So I'd like to get another memento album, probably 2, one for each cat. Do one for my daughter's cat and one for mine. And then photos. After I scrap them, I keep the duplicates and any that I didn't scrap, if they're decent enough. I have taken 2 with ones that I don't, that I like, but don't like making a scrapbook layout, of just putting in the pocket pages that have the 4x6 size, and just putting them in the scrapbook in those. So I'm not actually doing any actual embellishment to them or anything. Every now and then I'll stick in like a Project Life card or something. But anyways, what I did with these cases, I have 2 of them. The first one holds from 1983 to 2012. 83 is the year we got married. So, and then I put, in most cases, I put 1 year in a case. Like this is 2013. I have a couple of years where there's 2, and for some reason that one has 4, and I'm not sure why. That seems like it's a lot, but especially for that particular year. But I still have a lot of empty ones in here, and I just put my duplicate photos that I didn't use in here. My daughter does scrapbook every now and then. She'll ask for pictures from an event because she didn't have any or didn't have enough. So she can come over and find them. Somebody suggested that I send them to her house, but I prefer them here because every now and then I do a project, like a card or a little like gift album or something. So I want to pull out photos and use them. So it helps if I have them here. Somebody calls these photos that they keep their funeral photos, because you know how you always put together the little album thing, and you know, it's kind of a morbid thought, but it is really nice if you have them sorted that way ahead of time, so that when it happens, they're easy to find. Because I had to do that with when my mom died. We had to find her photos, because I put together a video for the funeral, for the visitation and funeral. That was kind of my contribution, was I did it, and the funeral home was worried about that. They're like, we really think that you should just let us do it, which they ended up putting one together just in case. But he did come up to me at the visitation and said, he goes, I wanted to say you did a wonderful job on that. He's like, it was excellent. I tried to include photos of my mom growing up and, you know, after her marriage, and kids, and her brothers and sisters, her parents, me and my siblings. So she had 6 children, so I kind of did us in order along with our families in there. My mom didn't like having her picture taken, so it was a little bit of a challenge at times to represent her into them, which is one reason why I decided to include the family. To her, family was very important, which, it is to me too, but sadly, I just can't spend the time with my family that I would like to. Um, they're all, just about every one of them is a heavy smoker. So even if they don't smoke, when you're with them, they smell of smoke, and smoke is a trigger for my migraines and for a flare in my illness. So every time I would see them, I would spend a week or two sick after the event. And finally, I just don't think I can do it anymore. And my husband's like, he goes, I think you should have quit long ago, which he had kind of said so. He goes, but you were adamant that you wanted to see them, and so he goes, I kind of let it go, but he goes, I don't like seeing you, sick for 2 weeks after every family event. He goes, they really want to see you. They know it's a trigger for you. They can give up cigarettes, but that's not going to happen. I'm not fooling myself there. Their comment was when I said I couldn't come to one of the last events was, well, there's no smoking at that person's house, and I just kind of said, but you all smell like smoke. I mean, most of them light one cigarette from the last one. The next cigarette gets lit off the last one. So they're all heavy smokers. I was trying to visit my aunt routinely for a while, and her house is like that too. Her whole house just smells of smoke. So I finally decided to say I can't do it anymore. After every visit, I'm down for that 2 week period, and I just can't do it. It's sad, but and I'd really like to see them, but my health's got to come first. I can't do that. There's so many things with my health that I can't control, that I have to control. I have to control the things that I know trigger things. I mean, certain things I can't control. Weather is a trigger for me. I can't control the weather, but I can control being around the cigarette smoke. I can control my exposure to sunlight. And certain other odors can do it too. So I have a hard time doing too much shopping at, especially like department stores at Christmas time, because the perfume smells are so strong, and that's a trigger for my migraines and the illness as well. It seems like if I get a migraine, it triggers a flare in my illness, and if I get a flare in my illness, it triggers my migraines. So it's kind of a vicious circle. So I have to avoid triggers for both that I know cause either one of them, so that I don't end up with both of them. Anyways, I rambled on more than what I intended to, but I hope you enjoyed seeing my project shares, and that you kind of like the little peek at how I do my mementos and photographs. That actually takes care of the next 2 weeks, and the last week is packing for a crop, which I don't really do, so I'm not sure that I'll really have anything to share there. But thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time.